I'm so excited to be here, and welcome to the interactive portion of the day. So this is where you get to go inside and have a sense of discovery about your gifts and start to create your personal action plan so that you can leave here today and have your first step of how you want to take action in the next 24 hours to support a world that is peaceful, just, and full of sustainability. So raise your hand right now if you want more peace in your life, in your community, and in the world in general. Oh, good. All right, well, I'm in the right room. And let's pause for just a second. Come on in, grab a chair. Perfect timing.
Ooh, perfect.
You haven't missed anything. We've just established that we all want peace. You're in the right room if you're with that. Raise your hand if you have an idea already of what some of the gifts are that you have to bring to yourself and to the world in order to build that world. Okay, so a couple of you raised your hands. Well, I had no idea when I was the age of most of you what my gifts were. So if you raised your hand, you're way ahead of the game. If you didn't raise your hand, perfect, because that's what we're going to do today. And for those of you that did, we're going to go to the next level. And raise your hand if you already have what you would call a personal action plan for what you're doing in your life to create peace. Beautiful. Okay, good. So a few hands. So again, for those of you, we'll go to the next level. Otherwise, we'll start to create that action plan in just a few minutes. I'll start by sharing my story, and then I'll tell you about a couple of individuals who have used their gifts to help thousands of people to find their role on the planet for creating peace. And then we'll go inside and actually go on a journey. When I was growing up, I had an extremely difficult time of it. My parents were both severe, extreme alcoholics. And it gave me the opportunity to go inside on a very deep level. I had no foundation outside of me, but what I had was myself. And when things would get really, really bad, and sometimes they were really terrifying, I would go outside into the family garden, and I would sit at the base of my favorite tree with my back up against the trunk, and I'd look up at these incredible limbs, and I'd hear the birds and feel the wind on my face. And somehow, my mind would start to quiet, and my heart would start to open, and I started hearing a voice inside of myself. It was wise, it was comforting, and it started to reveal to me what I needed to do to get through this really difficult time period. I couldn't change my external environment, but I could do something within myself. And what this voice told me at that moment, I'm about 7 years old at this time, was that I needed to focus on my grades. Tell a 7-year-old to focus on their grades, and it doesn't really sink in. But over time, I started to realize whatever my homework was, that was my job for the day. This sounds really mundane, right? But after a few years, I started to realize that I was building a foundation under myself. I'm getting into junior high school, I'm getting into high school, and I'm realizing that my education, because things are going well, and a little better and a little better, is giving me a ticket that will eventually be my freedom. And this voice knew what I needed to do. It was like walking along a misty trail, and all I could see was the next step in front of me. I couldn't see the next step after that, but all I needed was the next step, and the rest of it could be shrouded in mist. And day by day, step by step, I made it through high school, and I got through college. I wasn't good in school to begin with, so what I'm talking about is something that I really struggled with. It started to put my feet on the ground, and I started gaining a little momentum, started getting interviews with some companies I wanted to work with, And my sanity was no longer in question, because growing up in my family, you weren't sure if you were going to make it or not. I had 3 sisters that didn't make it through my family. They actually passed away. So I made it through college, and I'd saved enough money from odd jobs to be able to go to an incredible place, the Galapagos Islands off of Ecuador. If you've ever heard of this place, it's one of the most spectacular spots on the planet. And I was out in the water having a full-on mermaid experience. There were 2 young sea lions who were swirling around my ankles. I was in bliss. So eventually, time's passed and I've got to go back to shore. So reluctantly, I climb out of the water and I lie down and I'm waiting for the group to gather. And I look up and these 2 young sea lions have followed me out of the water and they're approaching me. They actually draped themselves across my legs and rolled around like soggy Labrador retrievers. Oh my gosh! There was some kind of connection happening between the 2 of us that was beyond words. Something, an extension of that tree that I had been sitting against when I was 7 years old, was happening with these sea lions. And the joy that I felt within me was absolutely incredible. It was everything I had prayed for when I was trying to make it through another day when I was a little girl. So I had to go home. I dove back into school, got my MBA, made it through some really difficult classes with a good GPA, and went on and dove into the business world. I was doing really well. I was making a lot of money. I was miserable. It wasn't me. I wanted to be back out in nature. Everything in my family said stick with business, and everything inside said go into nature. So I took the money that I earned from a job in business, a couple of jobs, and I went to Antarctica, as deep into wild nature as I could possibly imagine. And I was on a big ship with about 600 people, and they'd spotted a humpback whale that was coming towards the ship. This beautiful humpback whale had a baby bobbing alongside her. She comes over towards the ship, and everyone rushes over to where they think she's going to come. That voice inside of me said, she's going to go to the other side. So I walk over to the edge of this big ship, and I look down, and she surfaces right underneath me. Oh, I gasped, and it was so beautiful I started to cry. The tears welled up, and as they were rolling off my cheeks and falling into the water, my salty tears are landing in the salt water right next to her gigantic eye, and the baby is bobbing alongside of her. She looked right at me and into me. Again, there was that feeling of connection. There was no difference between species. There was no difference between watery world and world of air. We were together, and it changed me. Again, I went back home, and I started looking at my life, and I looked at my business career, and I thought, I just can't do it anymore. It's not me. I want to dive deep into the realm of connectedness in this world. And a friend of mine told me about energy medicine, which is the study of how everything is connected. Body, mind, spirit, humanity, nature. I thought, that's what I want. Has anybody heard of energy medicine in here? A couple of people. So I started taking classes in this, ended up with my PhD, started a private practice. I'm in a building. Again, it's not me. So I went home one afternoon from seeing a client, and I'm watching Oprah, and a woman comes on from Sierra Leone, which you heard about earlier in the plenary. This is Dr. Christiana Thorpe, and she's telling Oprah that there are 12 million AIDS orphans on the continent of Africa. What? 12 million AIDS orphans? My heart shattered into a million pieces. That can't happen. That's not acceptable. I have to do something. And my next thought was, you're one person. What on earth are you going to do against this vast problem? I thought, I don't know, but I'm going to go find out. And everything inside of me said, yes, this is where you're supposed to be. So I went on a 2-month solo research expedition to find out what was working and not working to support these AIDS orphans. I saw babies living in worse conditions than I could ever imagine existed. And I came home with a shattered heart, but a sense of tenacity and a sense of dedication to change my life, to honor what I had seen. I actually didn't feel drawn to go to work for the AIDS orphan crisis, which may sound odd, but what I felt I was meant to do was to change everything in my life. I was sitting in my office looking at my backyard, and with my background and my upbringing, I was working my way into the American dream. I was focused on a house, and a beautiful house, and a bigger house, and a garden, and a bigger garden. And all of a sudden, it didn't matter to me anymore. I didn't care about having a lush garden that my friends were impressed by. What mattered to me was the babies that I had held and had to leave behind, and the animals that I had connected with and had to leave behind, and they were in danger. And so what was I going to do? I got an invitation during this point of inquiry in my life to go to Ecuador into the rainforest with a woman named Lynn Twist. I didn't know it, but Lynn Twist is a very famous person in the nonprofit world, mostly for her fundraising, one of the most successful fundraisers on the planet. And long story short, I went to Ecuador, deep into the rainforest, and met the Achuar and the Shuar tribes, indigenous peoples, working to create a co-creative partnership and not only save their rainforest, but to help Westerners, help the United States, change their vision of what it means to be successful and what it means to be happy in this world. From consumption and making everything look big and beautiful and more, to a thriving, just, sustainable world. And I thought, that's what I want to be a part of. And I came back, I had taken a camera with me that I had just bought. I came back with some images that a girlfriend of mine saw, and she said, oh my gosh, you know you're a professional photographer, don't you? I said, well, no, what are you talking about? She said, these images are amazing. You need to do this. I had a fundraiser with images I'd already taken. I raised $10,000 in 3 hours. I thought, you know what, this is bigger than Gloria. This is something that is happening because it's meant to happen. And I decided that I was going to do what it took to create a social venture enterprise called Gloria's Journey Photography to shine a light on a couple of nonprofits doing amazing work in the world and raise funds along the way. So that's what I decided to do. Now, Lynn Twist is the founder of the Pachamama Alliance, who I went to Ecuador with, and the way she's helping people to wake up to their role on the planet is through this incredible symposium I have to mention called Awakening the Dreamer, Changing the Dream. And then there's a younger version for high school students and younger called Generation Waking Up. So she played a major role in inspiring me. I want you to know that she exists. I'll tell you about 2 more people very quickly that will dive into you. Nina Church is a friend of mine who, when she was 15, went to Kenya. And if you're going to drink water, this is the way to do it, right? Bring your own bottle, wash it, reuse it. If you're stuck and you have to buy a bottle of water, find Nika. They have a 0 carbon footprint because of their business model, and their profits go to providing clean drinking water for the developing world, and wherever they go, it's for a lifetime. She's a senior in high school now, and they've already raised $235,000 and provided drinking water for over 6,500 people for the rest of their lives. The other thing you have in front of you is a food bar, and this was created by a man named Lauren Walters. He was broken open and found his gift for combining business and compassion when he saw starving children in the developing world and decided, I'm going to create a food bar that takes profits and gives them to create nutrition packs for children. So for every one of these food bars you see in front of you, a nutrition pack is going to a child who would otherwise not have anything to eat. So if you're going to buy a food bar, why not buy 2 degrees and provide a nutrition pack for a child? So it takes visionaries like Lynn Twist, Nina Church, Lauren Walters to create these companies takes people like you and me when we're in the grocery store and we think, I'm stuck, I'm genuinely thirsty, there's no water fountain, all right, if I have to buy a bottle, I'm going to buy Nika. If I'm going to buy a food bar, I'm going to buy this. So that's an option. So what's our action plan? And how do we get into what we're meant to do? If you would, get yourself comfortable and take a look at the images around the room. Find an image that draws your attention. Which one would you like to be instantly transported to if you could get on a helicopter right now? And sit comfortably so that you can look at that image for a moment. Go ahead and shift around if you like. And focus all of your attention on that image. Take a deep breath. As you let it out, relax everything in your body and focus on that one image. Take another breath. And as you let it out, relax even deeper. Start to move into a place inside yourself that is still and quiet. Notice the details in the image. What would you imagine the temperature is like? The sounds are like? I invite you now to take one more deep breath and close your eyes. Hear the sounds that are around you in that scene. Imagine what it feels like on your face to have that wind, that breeze blow across you. Imagine reaching your left hand into the scene. What would you touch? Would it be cold water, snow, leaves on a tree, rocks? Notice your breath and allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into this moment. If you like, place your right hand on your chest and take a deep breath. Allow your heart to expand into your hand. As you exhale, feel your hand fall. Inhale, take another breath and let your heart expand into your hand fully. And extend the feeling of your heart, this feeling of peace, into the scene around you. Let it extend into the trees or the water or the mountains where you are. One more breath. And allow yourself to know what is the essence of this place where you are. What is one word that sums up where you are right now? Become that. With your next exhale, let go of anything that is not complete peace. Become peace. If you like, you can relax your hand, keeping your eyes closed. Sit in this stillness and allow the wise, compassionate part of yourself that knows you better than anyone to rise to the surface and speak with you for a moment about your gifts. What did you come here to do? Who are you when no one's looking? What do your friends come to you for when they need help? What are you most passionate about? When you're ready, open your eyes, and I invite write down on the notebook in front of you what you've heard. If you're writing, keep writing. If you finish for the moment, go inside again and ask yourself, what am I meant to do with this gift? How am I meant to share this with myself, with my community, possibly with my school? Let something rise up within you that may be a total surprise. It might be something you've always wanted to do. It might be something you've not yet have the courage to step up and say, this is it. Are you an artist that hasn't quite yet allowed herself to be an artist? Are you a leader that hasn't let himself become a leader? A budding environmentalist? Sometimes our next step is getting out of our own way. It's realizing that we've gotten addicted to shopping, or to alcohol, or to some toxin in our life, a relationship possibly that is in our way. Sometimes our next bold step is letting something go. Take another few seconds and know that this is just the beginning of a conversation. From that connected place within yourself, if you've written something down and you have something specific in mind, that's wonderful. If you're sitting here with a big question mark inside yourself, that's wonderful. Because I don't know is one of the most powerful places we can be. When we're full and we know exactly what we're supposed to be doing, how can new information and new insights come into our lives? So don't feel odd if you're just wondering. Keep looking and keep asking. Now what I'd like to do is have you guys pair up. So we'll go around the table, and your pair, and your pair, and your pair, pair, and your pair, pair, and you'll be a trio, okay? And your pair, let's see, pair, trio. And The person with the longest hair is going to go first. Okay. So everybody with the longest hair in your group, raise your hand. We only have a minute, so we're going to do this really quickly. We got our speakers? Okay. Whoever's speaking first is going to take a minute, very short, and we're going to tell what our experience was. And if your experience is, I have no idea, then please celebrate that. Okay? Go.
opportunity to feel with what you've heard and what you experienced. Imagine that it's just come true. You've taken that next step, and everyone in this room has participated in taking a bold step forward in the creation of a just, thriving, sustainable planet. How phenomenally cool would that be? You guys feel the excitement of what would happen on the planet if that happened? It's amazing. It's amazing. And with with one individual taking a step, we send out ripples across the entire planet. Another individual, and it's magnified, and then we end up with some kind of tipping point, and we magnify each other. This symposium has touched thousands of people now in 62 countries. So you're in the presence of thousands and thousands of individuals who, like you, are taking their place and finding their role on the planet. So very quickly, I want to talk about a few gifts that we can give ourselves as we go through this process, because you do have to have tenacity. And when people tell you you can't do it, it can be an incredible thing. I want to tell you about two kinds of people that are phenomenal in our lives when we're going through this. First, they're the people who know that we can do it. And if you want to jot down one or two people who believe in you, who's one or two or three people who believe in your vision and know that if you set your mind to something, you can accomplish great things. And then I want you to remember to put yourself on that list, because the first person who has to believe in you is you. Absolutely. And the second kind of person who is amazing on this journey is the person who says, you can't do it. It's too big. You're not big enough, bold enough, bright enough, brilliant enough. Those people are fantastic. Why? Yes, because once we have faced them, we can do anything. I had a guy in grad school who told me it was his job to flunk me out of accounting so that I wouldn't sully the good name of the University of Texas at Austin. I went over his head to the head of the department and asked for a tutor, and the head of the department said, brilliant, you're going to be just fine. But if I had let that dragon at the gate stop me, it would have been a blow to my psyche like nobody's business. People who tell us we can't do it cause us to go inside and find our fire. Another thing we want to remember to do is to guard our health. Stay away from toxins. Toxic people, walk away from them. Just don't give them your energy. Walk away. Toxic food, forget about it. We don't have enough extra energy to be wasting our time on things that blow us out of the water, right? Toxic television, forget television. Replace television with your vision. Ooh. Your life is so much more interesting and so much more dynamic and powerful than any reality show out there. There's no cosmetic, there's no procedure, there's no clothes, there's no person on a magazine that is more interesting, dynamic, beautiful, brilliant, and powerful than you are. Media is out there to sell us stuff. Get out of the media tractor beam. And laughter, don't take it all too seriously. I walked off the front of a stage in the middle of a performance in front of the entire high school auditorium one time, landed on my rear end, got up, curtsied, and went up backstage and went, oh. I didn't have a shade for a couple of years there, but after that, it was fine. And once you walked off the front of the stage in front of the entire high school class, you get to feeling okay about public speaking. So what you're afraid of, go for it. If you get killed in the process, you'll rise up like a phoenix and be better for it. But don't take it all too seriously. And nature. Get out into nature. It'll rejuvenate you. It'll help you revive and get you back in touch with that voice. And connect inside. Whatever's your path. Some people meditate. Some people walk, hike, play with their pets, get out there with their friends. Whatever's your way to connect inside and hear your authentic voice, cultivate that. That voice will get stronger and stronger and be more of a part of our lives. So, everybody get up really fast because we're running over and I want to do something that will be really cool at the end here. We're going to get into a big gigantic circle. So we're going to actually go around this table and we're going to go around that table. I think if we circle 2 tables, we're going to be good. And what we're going to do is take, do we need to be around 3 tables? Possibly. Okay, what we're going to do, actually, we're going to take one hand and put it on our chest and feel the love there first. Oh, we gotta close this. Everybody, you stay where you are, and everybody go this way a little bit. We can do this. We're going to close the gap. Just as long as you can reach out and touch the person to your right, then you're good. Can you guys reach? No, we're gonna go like this. Okay, so feel your love for yourself first. If you're on an airplane and the airbag drops, the first thing you do is put the mask on yourself. Yeah, now the person next to you. Okay, so feel your love, feel yourself. Now extend it to the person to your right. Love for yourself, and then extend it out. You are each incredibly powerful people. You have the power to change your life, to make your action plan a reality, and to leave here and to do something in the next 24 hours that grounds your vision in this reality. Take action, don't wait. And if your action is to go inside and keep this conversation going, perfect. Absolutely fabulous. So, you can relax that, and I'll ask you one more time. Who here has an idea of what their gifts are? Some beginning of an idea. All right, more hands than before. Absolutely fabulous. And who here has a step that they're going to take in the next 24 hours on their personal action plan? Awesome! Okay, thank you for coming. Peace.